This is just an example of some of the sentencing that's being dished out at the moment. This is an extract from the Telegraph. The judge said of the people I have thus far sentenced, "You are the person who provides me with the most difficulty, because it cannot be levelled at you that you hit anyone, neither have you thrown anything, neither is it said that you spat at anyone, but it is accepted by you that you were party to this disorder, and I have to sentence you on that basis, and you know that anyone party to this has to receive a custodial sentence." The man described by the judge as the least involved in the riot was jailed for a year. I believe that it's my understanding that the people that caused the fracas at Manchester Airport haven't been dealt with at all yet, but there could be more news on that. I just thought I'd read you that out because obviously we have someone who's running the country who's a former criminal barrister, so he's going to know the law and how far he can go. This is a bit like one of these non-crimes. He's actually said he hasn't done anything, but his presence is the thing that seems to have gobbled him up into sentencing. Very strange times we're living in. It's quite clear a lot of people are quite concerned about this, and rightly so, which is why I never recommend going on any protest. You see, if it's stacked against you, because authority figures don't really want to listen to what you've got to say, then the chances of anything going without a hitch are slim. It's wrong, but it's how it is. So most people listen to this. I mean, I don't go to protest, live in the north of England, they don't have them up here. I wouldn't want to go anyway, it's not my thing. I like verbal dialogue, I like challenging people, I like writing to MPs. That's how I handle things. But the thing is, we are being talked about across Europe with the way we're being handled by our own authority figures. That said, it doesn't mean that you're not allowed to have a life and get on with it. You have to keep abreast of what's going on, and bear in mind, if you go anywhere like that, the chances are that you might not get treated very nicely, and that's a problem. It's not right and it's not moral, but it's a problem. So what we've got to look at is the third section. I haven't done the second one yet because I thought this was more important actually, from Brexit Facts for EU. It's got a page on Twitter and Facebook. They've got a website, Brexit Facts for EU. You can look it up. Anything I quote is from them. They get it from the Office of National Statistics. But I thought I'd just throw this one in, which surprised me. Douglas Carswell, former Tory MP who got fed up with the Tories many years ago and sort of defected to UKIP. He's been in Mississippi, I think, working. He's come back home. He's done an excellent interview with Winston Marshall, who's the son of the guy that owns GB News, or part owns GB News, and he does some really good podcasts. It's an hour and a half long, so I put it on while I'm doing housework and that. But one of the things that he said, which absolutely astounded me, is that 1 in 27 people who live in this country actually only arrived here this last 2 years. That's astounding, isn't it? 1 in 27. The annual cost of housing asylum seekers has rocketed 9 times in 5 years, and the government's own independent ombudsman, as it were, is the Chief Migration Inspector, has slammed the Home Office for its handling of what is now at crisis level. So there are people who aren't monitoring this. What's going to happen with it? Just to show you what that kind of increase means, in 2019, the cost of immigration, illegal and illegal, illegal actually, sorry, that's my mistake, illegal immigration, cost us 0.7 billion in 2019. In 2020 to 21, it went up to 1.1 billion. 21, 22, 2.7, 22, 23, 3.9 billion. 23 to 24, 6.6 billion. So as you can see, that kind of an increase in such a short space of time, with no signs of it decreasing, is a massive problem for a country that's been locked down with its economy. and morale is low because of the way we've been handled. And now I'm getting messages from people who say they don't know which way to turn. I'm told, I've got to check this out properly, but someone who shared a Facebook meme saying coming to a town near you, showing the usual cross-channel situation, has also received a custodial sentence. And it's quite mad, really, because these are topical discussions that you would have in the pub or down at the local corner shop. And what's happened is social media is just that, it's social media. We socialise, we discuss things, we pass comment and opinion. It doesn't mean anything. We've not got any powerful position where we can affect damage or concern to people, but now it's basically being policed. And they're relying on self-censorship. In other words, I've noticed a lot of people have locked their Twitter accounts down so the public can't see them. So the government are getting us to police ourselves. I'm quite happy with YouTube censorship because that seems to be pretty strong. So I'll just keep going with what I do because I think it's important that we gather together and have not necessarily a shoulder to cry on, but I think we need to be together, we need to interact, chit-chat. You've got to be careful of your commenting. I mean, I don't know. I haven't actually met anyone who's incited the desire for any form of violence or confrontation. So it's a bit difficult for me to assess how bad it is. And I do take the hump that these awful people that have damaged property that belong to other people, I don't think that's a political movement. I think that's just yobboism, whatever you want to call it, thuggery. Two people that have been arrested for burglary, and another one, I can't remember which town it's from, but he had form for burglary. So he's just gone out, hasn't he, on the day to maximise the potential of the chaos. No one will notice him, they'll think he's just a protester. How many people have done that? How many people like that are part of this crowd? And the saddest thing of all at this time is that those three beautiful little girls who had their lives taken away from them in the most brutal of fashions didn't even get a week's worth of publicity because the media are chomping at the bit to talk about the rioters. Now that's sad. That is sad because it should have been focused on those children and their lives because they don't have one now, unlike us. And this is why it's important to get the best of it because you never know what's going to be snatched away from you, whether it's your income, your freedom, or even your soul. Because it's important that you realise that we are, well, I believe we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and we have to handle it in a way that gives us some fortitude to continue. And that is your sense of humour, concentrating on your list of good things that happened to you. One guy messaged me and I thought this was really good. He'd been worried about a doctor's appointment about his blood results. He'd worried all week about it. He's not been eating properly, hasn't been sleeping properly. And when he got there, it was all good news. And he said to me in the message, June, I'm going to listen to you from now on. I didn't think there was anything good to celebrate, but I'm just going to celebrate being me, not being ill and not having to go on any medication. Result, that's what it's about. Let's not miss what we've already got. You know, if you live in the land of more, waiting for something to happen to you, waiting for something good to happen to you, you'll miss the good thing that's already there. And I know that from my own experience. You know, I do this blogging and I'm focused on it and I'm driven by it to share honesty and some decent information. And I think I missed quite a bit of my dog's decline, Connie, who had to be put to sleep prematurely last Christmas. It was awful. And I blame myself in some ways for not noticing it because I was busy in Zoom calls and doing interviews, and I'm not making that same mistake again with my two new dogs. Not a chance. Not a chance, because what I've created here has got to come first. This is where I feel loved, this is where I get love, and I'm sure it's where you get love. And if you're not getting your love at home, and if you're not feeling secure at home, that must be absolutely appalling. And I know some people have a dreadful home life, and I feel for them, which is why I was so against lockdown, because people were locked in with their abusers. Not good, not good at all. So what you've got to look at is, we have to read all this bad news and see that we're being manhandled, and that freedoms and liberty is not something to take for granted. It's something to be savoured. a glass of wine, please, tonight. Drink to your freedom, drink to your health, drink to your home and your family and your pets. Never forget the pets.